What's going on, everybody? Gaming Diva here. Also, well, my real name is Robyn, and I am a new indie game developer, owner and founder of Flytime Game Studios LLC. And today, I want to have a game dev talk that I am learning from my teacher, my mentor, Thomas Brush, whom you can also find on YouTube, and is also the owner and the founder of Full Time Game Dev. So make sure, if you guys are interested and you're a hobbyist and you're trying to learn game dev from somebody that went from a full-time job to now doing six figures as a indie game developer, check out Thomas Brush's course, Full Time Game Dev, at fulltimegamedev.com. Today, as I'm talking to you guys, I'm currently putting together a document that he suggested that we all do to keep ourselves focused on task, on the goal, and to really be super concise and super specific on the projects that we're doing and why we're doing them. Whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, write it down, envision it, make a vision board, hold yourself accountable to a schedule, to a date, to a time. So that way, basically start what you finish, essentially. Because if you find yourself, going from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, you're not really super committed. And basically your why as to why you're doing what you're doing in the first place really isn't that strong. So you might want to go back and just reevaluate. You want to reevaluate why you are doing what you're doing. Projects and milestones for the rest of 2023. So for my first bullet point, well, the summary, what I wrote is, I'm making this document to help myself stay organized and focused on each project listed in the bullet points, holding myself accountable to start what I finish while meeting deadlines. And that's where I stopped, because then I realized, y'all, it was 2 p.m. and I'm like, oh snap, I need to start the stream. So I'm like, you know what? So for game development day for today and tomorrow, we're gonna have a game dev talk. So this is the talk. This is to help other people out there that's like me, whether you're doing game development or not. I think this is something that will help everybody with, I would say, time management and having a schedule. And unless it's an extreme emergency, like a lot of times we find ourselves being caught up in other people's mess and business, but we're not tending to our business. So this is to not only help myself, but to also help others. So I have an issue with procrastination. I have an issue with finishing what I start. And I want to change that. And in order for me to run and maintain a business that I'm trying to run and learning to run, I have to have a schedule. I do. You have to have a schedule. You have to block out time for yourself. You have to meet deadlines, especially if there's other people and companies involved. Like you got to get it done, especially if they're going to be funding you to get your projects done. You got to get it done. Like everything else, everybody else, you let them know ahead of time. Like, hey, in my case, the person that rings my bell, my phone the most is my mother. So I'll be like, hey mom, I'm gonna be busy from this time to this time. I'm gonna call you when I'm done. If you try to call me and it's not an emergency, just know I'm not answering the phone. Sometimes you gotta put your foot down and you just gotta let people know, like, hey, I'm busy. I'm not trying to ignore you, but I gotta get my stuff done. So on the top of this document, I have my Flytime Game Studio logo. I dated it with today's date, April 20th, 2023. And I wrote projects and milestones for the rest of 2023 calendar year. So bullet point A, I have full-time game dev course. Bullet point B, make 9 small games and release on itch.io. So no matter what the game is, the process is to get you to start your game, to finish it, and release it. So you know what that feels like. Okay. Now, bullet point C kind of goes in conjunction with bullet point A. And bullet point C is Project DJ. Bullet point D, focus on building my social media accounts to 1K. So, and that's not even just the gaming diva accounts, like not even my, so I'm not really considering my gaming diva account like what I have that's tied to streaming. I'm talking about my Flytime Games studio social media. So that means my Twitter, my Facebook, my Instagram. I have to work on that. I have to build that up because that's going to be important. That's going to be really important for the next bullet point, which is building my website. So I had started, and I do have a template on how I want my website to look, what all I'm going to put on it. And last but not least, but it really should be, I guess, bullet point A, finalizing my business plan. Those of you that are watching or listening to this video, you come across it on YouTube. Some of you are watching it live because I'm recording it on Trovo. Wherever you guys are at in your entrepreneurial business journeys, what I'm learning and what's been a constant, whether it been from Thomas Brush or reading entrepreneurial books that I've read over the years, is they always have a why. What is your why? Is your why strong enough to keep you motivated, to keep you going to accomplish what it is that you seek out to accomplish? And in a weird way, writing this out, putting up the vision board, putting up numbers projected, even though I'm making this document for my game development course, I'm also going to apply this with my workout sessions, with, you know, my diet, my nutrition. Like, you can apply this in so many different ways, shapes, or forms outside of, you know, your business, outside your journey. This can apply and affect so many different areas in your life. But those of you that's watching that are beginners, that's starting out like me, I'm encouraging you to keep going. Write it all down. Have a schedule for yourself. Have milestones. Commit to something. Finish it. And I'm not only telling that to y'all, I'm also telling that to myself, because I struggle with that too. Procrastination, sticking to something and finishing it. Because I often find myself that if I'm stuck somewhere over here, I'll jump from project to project to project, and then before you know it, I have all these unfinished projects and I never released anything. And I think part of that reason why is, like I said, none of us really want to face negativity or criticism, or people that's probably going to come out and say that they hate your work, you suck, da 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 da. Like, you have to develop that tough skin. You have to develop it, and you got to understand that people, for whatever reason, you know, there's some people out there that will give you that tough love and constructive criticism to make you want to do better and perfect that area or areas in your craft while you're doing game development. But then also too, I understand that there's just a lot of mean, nasty people in the universe, and comment sections can be very harsh. And a lot of times, I mean, like where you have a good, you have the opposite effect. You're gonna always have that negative aspect. But keep going. Don't let nobody stop you or hinder you from trying to achieve, to do what it is that you're trying to do. But yep, this has been my game dev talk, my hour. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.